You may be faced with going to a shop that an insurer has a relationship with and will guarantee the repairs, and now you're hearing all the warm and fuzzies.
Right.
You need to look through your estimate and understand what's going on the car, in this case, an airbag, and where those parts are coming from. A young mom is dead. And it's because of greed. It's because of people making money off of other people, not doing the right thing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the airing of grievances. My name is Reamer. That's Robert Grieve, and it is, as always, our honor to have this moment in time with you. Thanks for sharing your day with us. And today we have a very important message that you're going to want to stick around to all the way to the end for. We won't take a lot of your time, but the words that we're going to share with you today can and will save lives. So just that's a little heads up for you.
Heartbreaking story.
It really is. Before we get to that story, though, it is our custom to greet you. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you. My dear friends, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the comments, and appreciate you also very, very much.
Yes. If you haven't done it already, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Don't forget to notify, click the notification bell. That tells YouTube that you're interested in this content, and we will notify you when we post another video. Secondarily, if you haven't clicked the thumbs up, we're grateful for when that happens, because again, it tells YouTube that this is content that's worthy of sharing to others. So two things that you can do that are free, that help the channel and help others get this information. And as I mentioned, this is going to be one of those really life-saving pieces of information that we're sharing with you here on the channel. It would mean the world to us if you shared this information out with your sphere of influence by way of the social medias, the Facebooks, the Instagrams, and all those things. That being the case, Rob, let's start with the fact that Repair Driven News presented an article a few days ago. Laura Lowry wrote the
Way to go, Laura.
She does such a great job.
Yep, she kills it.
And here's the headline for that. It says, lawsuit alleges mother's death caused by improper repairs on a totaled vehicle. And we talk a lot about vehicles that should be totaled but instead get repaired, and the motivation for that is typically, not always, but is typically driven by greed.
Greed.
Right? It's the either the repairer or the insurer, or the repairer and the insurer, who are looking to make money on something that should be sent to the scrapyard. And
here's the problem with that.
Yeah.
Some of them, many of them, do get sent to the scrapyard, but they don't get scrapped.
There's another market.
And there's another market that builds cars that are totals.
Right.
And then sells them on the market.
Right.
And how are you to know? We have several videos that we have done on used vehicles that were purchased and still have bent frame rails, and I've been to court and testified on it, and it's a buyer beware situation.
Yeah.
And if you're going to buy a used car, buy it from somebody reputable. If you can get a certified pre-owned from the manufacturer, better yet. You want to have as many people rowing in your direction as you can when you buy a used car.
Yeah. So this article talks about a lawsuit that is now happening, and there are several companies named in the lawsuit.
Lots of them.
And for the sake of this, we're going to keep our naming of some of these companies in a general sense, right? But suffice it to say, and here's the headline paragraph: a lawsuit has been filed against a rental company, an auto auction company, a used car retailer, I'm going to sub in here, an airbag manufacturer, and a body shop in the death of a Florida woman. Now, the complaint, this happens in Broward County, Florida, in the 17th Judicial Circuit Court, alleges that Destiny Biasi was killed in a June 12, 2023 collision when a counterfeit front driver's side airbag detonated, this is a quote, detonated like a grenade and shot metal and plastic shrapnel throughout the vehicle cabin. We're going to talk about the counterfeit part and obvious damage that happens here. This involves people. And
this involves a young mother of two.
Ms. Biasi was the mother of two young children, had her entire life ahead of her. What should have been a minor collision turned deadly because the alleged negligence of multiple companies. So says the attorney representing the Biasi estate. Rob, there's so much here, and
there really is.
You know, this could be a very long video. We're not going to make it as long as all this.
No.
We'll put a link to this article where you can do your own research on who was involved and what's going on. But Rob, what's our TLDR on this thing?
You know, a young mom is dead. And it's because of greed. It's because of people making money off of other people, not doing the right thing. And in this particular story, doing absolutely the wrong thing knowingly.
Yeah.
Knowingly. And when people put other people in harm's way knowingly,
yeah,
so that they can make a bunch of money.
Somebody has to say something.
Yeah, this is horrific. So she believed she was buying a safe and reliable vehicle. Apparently not. And we see it very, very often with many of the guests that want to stop by and have us take a peek at the vehicle, a used vehicle that they're potentially going to buy, and let us give it the once over from the body, structural, you know, do you see anything that you know, jumps out at you? We're happy to do that for people. We want you safe too.
Right.
And we don't charge for anything like that. It's our pleasure to just take a walk around the vehicle and let you be aware of what we see.
Sure.
Many times I advise not to purchase the vehicle and show them the reasons why. So you have a used car that was improperly repaired. She didn't know the thing was improperly repaired. She may not have known it was repaired at all.
Right.
But yet here we are. So the suit claims that in 2022 the vehicle was involved in 2022, so prior to her receiving the vehicle.
Right.
In 2022, the vehicle was involved in a collision that caused the front driver's side airbag and front driver's side seatbelt pretensioner to deploy. The suit states the damage to the subject Chevy Malibu from the crash was so significant that the vehicle should have been classified as a total loss, issued a salvage title, and removed from service. This is what the lawsuit is claiming. I can't comment on any of that. I never saw the car.
Sure.
But they have reason to believe that, and they probably have more knowledge than I have.
Okay.
After being involved in a crash that caused the subject's Chevy Malibu front driver's side airbag and seatbelt pretensioner to deploy, the front driver's side module and front driver's side seatbelt pretensioner must be removed and replaced with new components that comply with federal standards and the manufacturer's design specifications for the vehicle. I've been saying that in every video basically that you see. Instead, the Malibu was sold to Drive Time through Mannheim Auto Auction and Jumbo Automotive was hired to repair the vehicle before it was resold to this young lady, according to the complaint. In their effort to repair and replace the subject Chevy Malibu deployed front driver's side airbag, Jumbo and Levy purchased counterfeit and non-compliant airbag components that were designed, manufactured, and sold by Jillian, a Chinese company, and proceeded to install these components into the subject Chevy Malibu, the suit states.
Just something fairly quickly. You introduced another name, Levy, who was the owner of
the shop,
the body shop that did the repair.
As I understand,
yeah.
Yes. This makes me so angry. The seatbelt pretensioner wasn't repaired or replaced, according to the complaint. Instead, the wires to the pretensioner were allegedly cut to allow the driver's seatbelt to release from its deployed position, appear normal, and appear to function as designed and intended to an unwitting consumer.
That is most disturbing.
So it's intentional.
Yeah.
We disabled, not we. The people that did this repair, instead of repairing something, cut wires so it would appear to be repaired, but it wasn't repaired.
Yeah, and they should have replaced the seatbelt pretensioner. Now, that seatbelt pretensioner, we went down and looked at one of our vehicles here to see what that looks like. And that seatbelt pretensioner, when there's enough inertia happening and the pretensioner gets fired, it straps you against the seat. It
holds you in
tight, right?
Yeah, it doesn't just lock it, it actually cinches you into the seat.
Right. That's its deployed status. In order to release that, these guys cut the wires, which now tells the pretensioner mechanism, which is already deployed,
it's garbage.
It's garbage, right? But it releases it and now lets the seatbelt do what seatbelts feel like they normally do.
Like, there's no way to know that the thing had deployed unless you plugged in a scanner, and a scanner would say probably lack of communication or something along that lines.
Or
visually, you wouldn't know.
Or unless you cut it.
Yeah, or the person that cut it knows. So during the collision that killed this young lady, the lawsuit claims that the seatbelt pretensioner did not deploy as originally designed, and the fragments from the front driver's side airbag struck her in the face, head, and neck. It was a bomb. It was a grenade.
Yeah.
You know, shrapnel everywhere. I can't even imagine.
Here's something that we haven't talked about yet, but here's the thing. Jillian, the company in China that sold these parts, this airbag and whatnot, this is a counterfeit, or at least allegedly a counterfeit airbag and components. And so there's no quality control. At least one would presume there's no quality control.
And you can't tell by looking at it.
Yeah.
You can't tell by looking at it. So what does this mean for all of us as consumers, buying cars and getting cars repaired? And you gotta have a lot of confidence in the person, not the person, the company that you're buying a vehicle from. If you're getting your vehicle repaired, you have to have a lot of confidence in that shop that they're going to look out for you and your best interests, not only of you, but of your passengers.
Right.
Because I don't know if there was anybody else in this car, but if the two kids were in the car and shrapnel blew through there, God only knows what would have happened to them, but there was nothing in the story about that, so I'm not really going to go down that road. Interestingly enough, in another article from the Miami Herald that was talking about this particular case, they mentioned that on March 6th, a retired auto mechanic in Memphis, Tennessee, pleaded guilty to trafficking counterfeit airbags from China, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Tennessee said in a news release.
Wow.
Gets better. The guy that pleaded guilty says he sold the airbags over eBay to auto repair shops and consumers.
eBay.
So a few things, folks. If you're getting your vehicle repaired, you're in control of that to a degree, because you should be an active participant, as I always like to say. You need to read the estimates. You need to ask for any updated estimates and be aware of what is being put in your car and from where it is coming.
Sure.
We have the business philosophy here that we are not going to buy any parts for any vehicle that are not purchased from the OEM through one of their licensed dealers, which means a dealership. That's how OEMs sell their parts.
Yep.
They're original equipment manufacturers. The manufacturer of your vehicle has dealerships. They have a parts department. We buy the parts from them. They buy them from the manufacturer.
It makes sense.
These are the only parts that will be put in your vehicle or on your vehicle here at Nylund's. You may be faced with going to a shop that an insurer has a relationship with and will guarantee the repairs, and now you're hearing all the warm and fuzzies.
Right.
You need to look through your estimate and understand what's going on the car, in this case, an airbag, and where those parts are coming from. It's really, really important today because there's a lot of copycat stuff out there that it's not made for you. It's not made to benefit you. It's made to benefit other people. Insurance companies, body shops make higher profit margins on them. They're not for you. They don't do you any good whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I happened to, as we were going through this, I grabbed an estimate that I had from an insurance company, and one of the things is it needs a tire. And where do they source the tire from? Walmart.com. So we'll get one FedExed in or something. Not us, but
Wow.
we're not using any of those. But here's some of the other things they want to use. We're in Colorado, remember?
Yep.
Natchez salvage and aftermarket parts. They want you to get a bumper
From Mississippi.
from Mississippi shipped in. Here's some other parts. A used headlight from Loveland, Colorado, up north, and then an aftermarket non-OEM part from someplace in Denver here on Havana Street. Then we have Keystone in Aurora, some sort of a bracket for $22. I mean, how much are you saving on that? Then we have a fender liner, the plastic piece that goes inside around the wheel well. That we're going to get from, I can't even say that name.
Alpharetta, Georgia.
Alpharetta, Georgia. And then some aftermarket wheel from Chicago, Illinois. We don't do this, folks. And if you see this on your estimate, let it ring alarms for you. You do not know any of these people. You do not know what they're sending and what's going on the car.
Right.
That's why we go OEM only. If most cars that airbags are deployed on today, the systems are so intricate and so many items have to be replaced that the vehicle generally totals.
Yeah.
But they don't all total. Some of them some vehicles are very expensive, and the airbags are, while expensive, not that expensive.
Right.
And you only want them bought from the OEM. You never want anything used when it comes to safety items. And again, I mean, some of these parts on this estimate that I was talking about, they're used parts.
Right.
We don't know anything about the vehicle they came off of, or if it was in a flood, or, we don't know anything about them. We're not putting them on your car.
Right.
And you shouldn't want them on your car, and you shouldn't allow them to go on your car. This is how these types of situations happen. Was it on purpose? I don't think it was on purpose, but when you cut wires for a known safety system so that you can fool everybody, and now somebody is not with us anymore, I don't even know what to say about that.
It's unconscionable.
I just don't know what to say about that anymore.
Yeah. So
You need to be involved.
This is a buyer beware, and consumer be aware. These practices happen. This lawsuit, and in the article it says that their internal investigation, the people who are bringing this lawsuit, suggest that this happens far more often than anyone is comfortable talking about.
Yeah, there's a whole task force. I'm not sure which government department it falls under, but there's a whole task force just trying to stop these counterfeit parts coming into the country.
Yeah.
Because they're deadly, obviously.
So it goes right back to this, and we say it every week, and we're going to say it again. Know your repairer. Choose wisely. Find somebody that you can trust, or a trusted advisor who will point you in the right direction to someone that you can trust. We can't fix every car in the U.S., obviously, but I think it's safe to say you know our character by this point. We stand for one thing and one thing only, and that is the correct repair per the original equipment manufacturer. And we won't sacrifice that, because we don't sacrifice you and your safety.
Amen. Amen.
Right.
So with that, we'll leave it at that. Happy Saturday.
To you.
My dear friends, sorry to bring this sad story to you, but we need to learn from it, and we need to talk to other people about it. And this is a critically important subject. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Thanks for staying to the end. Have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you next Saturday. God bless.